Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Randall. This is the McClures. We react, review, we make fun of, we laugh at stuff over here. We're sponsored by www.mcclures.store. Link is down in the description. If you want to support the channel, you can buy quality American products. Helps me out, keeps me making videos. We're going to check out some news today. So this story is from BonginoReport.com. That's a good collection of news articles from all different sources, both left and right. But it's a good collection of kind of what's going on out there in the world today. But let me flop over so you guys can see this a little bit better. So numerous high-profile Arizona politicians accused of taking Sinaloa cartel bribes. Duh. Would be my first response to that. Duh. The cartel doesn't take over this side of the border without paying off people and greasing the wheels. But let's get into this. So, let's load up the full article here because I think that was just a snippet. So the full article is on the Political Insider, and allegations are made to AZ Senate Committee claiming that Governor Katie Hobbs and other officials took bribes from the Sinaloa drug cartel. Do you think the drug cartel helped her in her perfectly fine, not fraudulent election? Who knows? Maybe. But a number of high-profile Arizona politicians and officials have been accused of receiving bribes from the Mexican Sinaloa cartel. But at the top of the list is the new governor, Katie Hobbs. Not surprising at all to me. Really, at all. The California-based Harris-Thaler Law Corporation made claims that alleged Hobbs, Secretary of State Adrian Fontes, Runbeck Election Services, and a disturbing number of mayors, judges, city council members, and county supervisors of receiving bribes from the notorious drug cartel. This discovery was announced during a recent hearing in front of the Senate Elections and Municipal Oversight and Elections Joint Committee. Presentation was conducted by a principal investigator, Jacqueline Brager from Harris-Thaler, who went into detail as what started as an investigation into allegations of money laundering turned into this potential major scandal. So this is actually big news. I just randomly came across this before the live. I haven't heard about this on any mainstream outlets. I doubt they'll even cover it at all. So John Thaler on a tweet wrote, "Just so we are clear, Arizona has two issues. First, phantom election workers on the Maricopa County payroll. Second, see below." Just the first one is an issue. So phantom election workers. How many fake ballots did the phantom election workers process on voting day? That'd be an interesting question. So, Arizona election fraud investigation by Harris-Thaler Law for immediate release. And this was back in November 10, 2022 in Scottsdale. So, nobody was listening to this guy back last year. Hopefully, he's been working with Carrie Lake. She's currently has cases in front of the Supreme Court in Arizona, trying to get that fraudulent election overturned. Oh, I'm sorry, YouTube. The perfectly fine election that went so well. I'm not even on YouTube right now. Fuck you, YouTube. Okay. All right. So the investigation, according to Brager, in 2006, the U.S. Attorney's offices in Illinois, Indiana, and Iowa investigated the laundering of drug cartel monies through a complex series of single-family home purchases in those states. By 2009, numerous real estate agents, escrow companies, title insurers had been indicted, charged, and convicted of racketeering. She continued, in 2014, our office was asked to review the case files and determine whether monies from the sales of these property had filtered to property purchases in Arizona, specifically in Maricopa and Pima County. I'm not sure who pointed them in the direction of Maricopa and Pima County, but shout out to whoever that was. The Sinaloa Cartel, which is run by infamous Joaquin El Chapo Archibaldado Guzman Loera. Why do these motherfuckers have such long names, bro? That's crazy. Which I believe is El Chapo's son, not the real or original El Chapo. Maybe it is the original El Chapo, who currently is serving life sentence in Supermax prison in Colorado. Considered to be the most powerful and deadly drug cartel in the world. Now, investigators connected their discoveries back to Arizona when they found out that it was several real estate agents from Iowa who had set up a laundering system in Arizona and thereafter had transferred the proceeds of those sales to Panamanian corporations. Braggers pointed out in 2018, Mr. Thaler discovered, incidental to another matter, a series of trust deeds evidencing that cash laundering through single-family residences in Arizona was pervasive and ongoing. With that, a new investigation began, with the focus being on money laundering and related racketeering activities in Maricopa County and several other Arizona counties. It was also noted that Harris Thaler also currently represents several parties directly damaged by these racketeering events, or racketeering activities, rather. In a lengthy report, Brager provided Arizona residents Donna Ray Chavez and her daughter Brittany Ray Chavez were accused of being the principal preparers of the documents necessary to effect the racketeering enterprises. So apparently those are the two chicks. They got to sign all the paperwork that left the paper trail right to them. So according to Braggers, to date, more than 10,000 falsified documents have been recorded with the Maricopa County Recorder's Office, and we estimate that more than 35,000 warranty deeds, trust deeds, evidentiary fraudulent transactions exist in the database. Excuse me. The number of falsified notarizations exceeds 15,000. Donna and Brittany's participation in racketeering activities also include facilitation of bribes to public officials, tax evasion, payroll theft, bankruptcy fraud, insurance fraud, and extortion. Well, these chicks are on a freaking roll, aren't they? They are on a roll. Now, since 2004, elections within Pima County and Maricopa County have been manipulated through infiltration of the county databases resulting from bribes paid to executives at election service providers, including, but not limited to, principals of Runbeck Election Services, Brager said. In addition to impacting local election, bribes and infiltration were used to affect the outcome of the races during the November 3rd, 2020 election, including the outcome of the race for Maricopa County Recorder and the outcome of the November 8th, 2022 election race for Governor, Secretary of State, and Attorney General. And just by coinky dinky, one of the main people who has taken bribes is November 8th, 2020 election candidate herself for Governor, Katie Hobbs. Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. What do you guys think about this shit? This is some crazy stuff, no? Wifey's chatting on Twitch. I appreciate that. We can see you there. How about on Rumble? Did you try Rumble? Woman, I need you to chat on Rumble. Let me know if that works. And then take a picture that you actually chatted so we can send that to Rumble and complain about it. All right, now into the rabbit hole. According to Brager's report, the list of those who allegedly accepted cartel bribes include, but not limited to, multiple state office holders, state house, state senate, local office holders, county supervisors, judges of Maricopa County Superior Court, judges of several city courts, including 2 presiding judges, judges' assistants, prosecutors within certain cities within Maricopa County, prosecutors for Maricopa County, peripheral legal specialists, including attorneys, approved mental health care providers, court-appointed advisors, and related specialists. And she added that in Superior Courts of Maricopa County, Pinal County, and Pima County, at least 25% of active judges have accepted bribes in exchange for protecting the racketeering activities. Let's go over that again, people. At least 25% of the active judges who have rewind. All right. At least 25% of the active judges have accepted bribes in exchange for protecting the racketeering activities. Okay. Are we hearing that? Are we hearing that, folks? 1/4 of the judges are full of shit, bro. And looking out for the cartel's best interest. Amik, what's good? All right, now towards the later end of the report, a list of the officials who allegedly falsified deeds connected to the money laundering operations, including Governor Hobbs, Secretary of State Adrian Fontes, Senator Kristen Sinema, what do you know? Rep. Ruben Galejo, Mayor John Gillis of Mesa, Arizona Speaker of House Ben Toma, and many others. Now, I don't know all of the politicians in the state of Arizona by name. Obviously, there's a lot of them. But I am seeing a pattern to the names that they're showing, at least in this article. So I don't know if they're trying to be biased, but it's looking like the lefties were taking a bunch of money from the cartels and rigging the elections with cartel help, bro. You think the cartel is supplying the mules? They seem to have a lot of those. Maybe they supplied the mules to drop off all the perfect ballots. The list comprises individuals where investigation has been completed. Additional officials, including judges and election officials of Maricopa County and spouses, are currently implicated by the evidence obtained to date. Members of the committee asked Berger whether or not she had shared the information in the report outside of the committee. She responded that copies of the report were provided to previous Arizona Governor Doug Ducey in May of 2022. Let me repeat that. Pussy-ass Governor Doug Ducey, who is a fake-ass Republican, received all this information in May of 2022. Okay, this was way before they let the fraudulent election occur. Ducey provided the information to Arizona Attorney General's office. And why didn't that guy do anything? Why did Katie Hobbs get on the ballot if she's under investigation for taking money from cartel members? What's that about? Now, all right, let's get into this. So, is the evidence credible? Next section. Members of the committee asked Berger whether or not she had shared this information in the report outside of the committee, and she responded that the copies of the report were previously provided to Arizona Governor Ducey and Attorney General. I think I just read that. There's a little recap for you. Lead Stories reported that upon looking into the reports that there's no reliable evidence that's true, and that Berger did not provide credible proof to back up her explosive claims. In the Lead Stories report, they point that Arizona House Speaker Ben Toma described the allegations against the individuals made as substantiated and defamatory. Wasn't Ben Toma's name on the list of people taking bribes? So, yeah, obviously he didn't buy the story. All right, Republican State Senator Wendy Rogers, who is the current chairman of the Senate Committee on Elections, also stated that this presentation before lawmakers was perhaps inappropriate. Okay, interesting. To our knowledge, Rogers stated later, none of the people named had charges filed, had prosecutions pending, nor had any convictions made against them. It should also be mentioned that John Thaler of Harrison Thaler was at one point married to a Brittany Ray Chavez, who was accused of the racketeering. So he's literally smearing his ex-wife with a fake bribery scheme from the cartel? That seems a little risky, bro. Thaler said that during his marriage, he had no knowledge of her alleged activities, and additionally, Berger did not disclaim that her and Thaler are romantically involved. Lead Stories reached out later to Berger, requesting further details about the supporting evidence in the report, as well as the backlash to the allegations. She said she had in excess of 120,000 documents and sent a link to the reporter. To the report she provided to the members of the elections committees. That report listed 47 allegations and included deeds of trust allegedly tied to Arizona Governor Katie Hobbs. Nothing in the report proved Berger's claims that lawmakers, judges, or public officials in Arizona are on the take. Now, Berger acknowledged in further correspondence within the outlet that the investigation's limitations, that doesn't make sense, but stands by the report. We encourage the Senate and the legislator to embark on their own investigation of our discovery, and we are willing to work with them when they do. We fully support the need for a full-scale investigation by an enforcement agency. To date, we have been limited in our authority to pursue such, as was also stated in my report. However, there is no denying the evidence we have, and there is no denying the fact that we have enough evidence to warrant such an investigation. All right, so obviously there's some he says, she says back and forth. That's kind of how it works. When somebody says you committed a crime, somebody else says, no, I didn't. Always some back and forth on that. So time's going to tell the truth regarding the validity of the evidence and the claims. And since this wouldn't be the first time the media and the government has attempted to paint a potential theory as a conspiracy theory due to a political agenda, i.e. Wuhan lab leak theory, i.e. Hunter Biden laptop, we added that, being backed up recently by the FBI and Department of Energy, being only a recent example since that claim was virtually shut down in 2020, only to now have it confirmed to be most likely true. Dr. Andrew Jackson says Katie Hobbs and others are being publicly accused of taking cartel bribes, money laundering, and taking kickbacks. I say prove it or shut up. These are serious charges. In America, everyone is innocent until proven guilty, whether Republican or Democrat. That is actually facts. We do believe in that. There definitely needs to be an investigation. But if all this was turned over to the proper authorities, what they're saying 6-7 months prior to the last election, you think an investigation would have been done and this story would be fully debunked by now by investigators. But it hasn't. And when do we see investigators wait to start investigating? To when it's convenient, when it's on the left and they're actually guilty, vis-a-vis the fucking Hunter Biden laptop. We'll go back to that one for that reference. Now, Governor Hobbs responds to the allegations on Tuesday during a press conference, stating that the allegations made against her and others were false. It makes the legislator, quite honestly, a laughingstock in Arizona by extension, she said. And I hope folks are held accountable for this. You make Arizona a laughingstock by running your campaign like our pathetic president did, without running a campaign, refusing to debate, lying throughout the entire time. And according to this story, also taking bribes from the cartel and rigging some elections. Now, Hobbs is considering taking additional action in response to the claims. Yeah, she's considering it but hasn't done it because you don't sue when you're guilty. But also has stated that there are other pressing issues to focus on, such as the economy that she's screwing up and challenges with the water conservation that she is doing absolutely nothing to deal with or help with in any way, shape, or form. So these are the real critical issues that should be having full-day legislative hearings on, and we're not. Instead, we're having these circus shows, said Hobbs. Republican Maricopa County Recorder Stephen Richer, who was named in the report, has stated that he will be considering legal action. I don't know. If I'm a politician and there's a semi-credible, not even credible, but mainstream or at least talked about by enough people accusation accusing me of being on the hook with the cartel, I'm suing you, bro. Unless, unless, unless there's some shady shit you don't want to get into. Because when you sue a guy to try to prove that he's lying, you need to prove that he's lying. Which means he can get discovery and ask for all your emails and all that stuff. So that's why people don't sue, because they got a lot to hide. I wonder how much these guys have to hide. This was definitely a very interesting story. I'm kind of surprised at how the story twisted, or not so much twisted, but definitely had a lot of parties denying the claims or making it seem like it's kind of a BS story. So I'm surprised that Bongino had it on here. I don't know, named this way or set up in this way. It did lead me to believe it was going to reveal some more pertinent information than a repeat of the Hunter Biden story. Look, we can prove corruption without a shadow of a doubt. Here's all the evidence. But there's not going to be any investigation. No one's going to look at it. It's not going to go anywhere. It kind of seems like that's what we're experiencing. I appreciate you guys stopping by for that one. It was kind of a long news story, but an intriguing one. And since I am here in Arizona, I am definitely interested in what's going on with Arizona politics. But let me know in the comments what you guys think, what else we should be checking out, what other news sources would be good to pull up articles and react to on the next live, which is Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 3:30 to 5:30. So come hang out for the next one. Appreciate you guys stopping by. Later, bye. All right. What do we think? What do we think? Are they in deep with the cartel? I'm going to go with probably yes, bro. I'm going to go with probably yes. Are there Republicans on the list taking money from the cartel? Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. Every side is a shady side, bro. Unless you're far right. No, I'm just kidding. That's funny, though. That's funny. We might have to clip that as a short, bro. I might get some hate. We're here for the hate, bro. We like the hate.